right. Hey, Carolyn, how you doing? And so what I'm going to do without any further ado, I'm going to kick off this Zoom. And I'd like to welcome everyone this Monday evening to our Mindset Monday and Business Building Tips call. I have the opportunity to have two incredible ladies, Jessica and Maggie, who are doing a phenomenal job here in their Happy Co business. I can't wait for you to hear from them and hear their stories of what they've been able to do in just a short period of time. And first, before I start the Zoom off, I want to congratulate all of you for being here. And before I was going to host this Zoom this evening, I was thinking throughout the day, and I was thinking about my career in network marketing. My mentor shared with me, he says, Brian, the reason why at that time we did meetings, we weren't doing Zooms, we didn't have this technology, we would have to go to the local meeting twice a week. It was Tuesdays nights, Thursday nights for meetings, and Saturday was a super Saturday for trainings. And he would always say, the reason why you're showing up, Brian, is because when you're there presenting or telling your story, you don't want an empty room. So he says, what you're doing, why you're showing up is you're becoming a team player. You may have heard the presentation 100 times. You may have heard the stories 100 times, sit in the front row and laugh and clap like it's your first time hearing it, because your participation is what elevates everyone else in the room and everyone else in the business. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you this evening for showing up and giving us your valuable time and participating. Because Maggie wouldn't have wanted to come on this Zoom this evening and only seen 5 people here. It would have been devastating, right, Maggie? Jessica didn't want to come on the Zoom this evening and see 4 or 5 people. So I want to congratulate you all for being here this evening. And what can we agree that Saturday, in the chat, if you were at Saturday's training, give me a 5 in the chat if you were there. Give me a 5. Okay, awesome. Now, if that event was impactful and it impacted your business and impacted your lives, give me an 8 in the chat. If it was impactful, that you received value from Saturday's event. I mean, I've been here, ladies and gentlemen, for close to over 3 years, 3.5 years with the Happy Co. And that is it was the most impactful event with value that I've experienced, not only here in the Happy Co, but I have to say in my career in network marketing, because it was everything you needed to go out there and successfully build a business. And so I want to congratulate you for making that event the event that it was. Again, it was an incredible event. I want to thank all of our speakers. Give our speakers that presented and trained on Saturday's event. I mean, give Gabrielle Merle, give Melissa Prideaux, give Candy McCaffey, Carrie Cotis, and Tiffany Shazer all the love in the chats. Didn't they do a phenomenal job? And we can't leave out the amazing Taylor Worry. He brings it every event, Taylor Worry. And again, JT Thatch for taking his valuable time for being there this Saturday. So what I'd like to do is start this evening by congratulating everyone on your incredible jobs you're doing out there in the field. And I want to take the top enrollers for customers here at the Happy Co. And you've heard of her. She's leading from the front, Jessika Strickland. Hey, Jessica, you're crushing it as you're doing every single month. We have Donna Starkey. Donna's always there, ladies and gentlemen, crushing it. Give them both some love. Give these ladies love. We have the amazing Gabrielle Merle. We have Melissa Prideaux. There's that name again. Okay, that name keeps popping up. We have Melissa Prideaux. We have Team Elevated. We have Jessica Dinkins. Give them some love, ladies and gentlemen. Jessica Dinkins, and we have the amazing Stacy Brown. Stacy's there again. We have Zachary Kidder. Congratulations, Zachary. And we have the amazing Brittany Maxedon for our top enroller so far for the month of April in the Happy Co. Give them some love in the chats, ladies and gentlemen. And they've ramped it up because we have this promotion for the top 10 to get the perks. And the customers, to be in the top 10, you're crushing it because the customer count this month is off the chart. So, hey, give them all, congratulate them all, ladies and gentlemen, and give them some love in the chats. And next, for top enrollers for our company so far in the month of April, there's that name again, Stacy Brown. Congratulations to Stacy being #1. Jessica Strickland. Jessica's there. Hey, Carol Brenner. Congratulations, Carol. I know Carol's only been here for a short period of time, ladies and gentlemen. I know she's working closely with Stacy Brown, but she is amazing and she's crushing it. She's #3 in the company. And hey, we have Maggie Williams-Paulish with us. She's #4 in the company. Hey, you're gonna hear from her tonight. You'll be able to hear what she's doing. Give Maggie some love, ladies and gentlemen. We have Bobby White. Congratulations, Bobby. You're in the top 10. We have Sean Fletcher. Congratulations, Sean. You're in the top 10. We have Donna Starkey again, and we have Don Embry Rodriguez. So again, ladies and gentlemen, give all of them some love in the chats. I mean, and now what I like to do without any further ado here, I am going to introduce our first speaker. You know, both of these ladies that you're going to hear from this evening, they've only been in the Happy Co for a short period of time. But you'll hear that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Their mentor and the individual that they're working with, she's on our field advisory board. She's one of the most consistent and hardest working leaders that I know. And that's Melissa Prideaux. And is it by accident that on that leaderboard, she always has her team members on the top 10 leaderboards? It's either for customers or it's for brand partners. She's always there. So she's always leading from the front. She's not just sharing ideals and tips and giving value to her team. She's out there leading from the front and showing them how to do it. And first, I'm going to go to San Diego, California, and I'm going to go to Jessika Dolan. Jessica's a star with our company. She's only been here for a short period of time. They're both stars. They just have joined the business a short while ago, and I know they're shooting for bronze this month because they have another week. Am I right, ladies? The goal is to get the bronze. And so what I like to do is, Jessica, come on and just let everyone know, Jessica, a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your background here, please. Unmute, Jessica.
My background was not in Zoom, I can tell you that.
There you go. I can hear you now. I can hear you now. So Jessica, good to see your beautiful smiling face. I'm so happy that you're here with this evening. And please just share. I mean, you're crushing it. You are building a phenomenal business. You have jumped out the gate here. You have been very coachable. Just share with everyone a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and tell me a little bit about your background, please.
So my name is Jessika Dolan. I know it's a little tricky to say, but it's Dolan.
Dolan, slap me, okay? When you see me in person, you slap me, okay?
No, that's not my style, but it's no big deal. I'm from San Diego, but I'm born and raised, but I actually live in a small town now in the mountains of only 300 people. So it's an adventure. You can get anything here. My background, most recently, I have an HR background, but my most recent background has been leading children in children camps. So COVID kind of threw a wrench in overnight camps, and I finally let that go, my main bread and butter, in January. In December, I had been talking to Miss Melissa, and she is really good. I was already convinced on the products. That was not, those things sell themselves, really. It was Melissa going, hey, have you ever thought of planting that seed? You ever thought about doing something a little different? And then my job changed and I thought, wow, that seed looks really good to water right about now. And I jumped in with both feet.
Were you a customer at that time, or had you been on the products? How did you meet Melissa? I mean, you're in San Diego and she's in Canada. You're not like neighbors, and you're not even in the same country. So how did the two of you meet one another?
It's funny. Melissa's on like the top part of Canada on the right-hand side, and I'm at the very bottom by the border wall. I'm only like a stone's throw from Mexico. So to be honest with you, I had heard about the products a while back from another coworker when I worked in HR. and it had haunted me for a long time, but I never did anything about it. So when to be honest, my check engine light came on, turned over 40, and they just kept saying, Jessica, you're getting older, you're just gonna have to deal with your aches and pains or whatever else was coming up. I had gone to doctors that say, you just gotta deal with it. This is part of being a woman. You're getting older. That's just life. And I don't like that answer. I didn't like it at all. So that little bug in the back of my head about a coworker using a product years ago just came into my head, and I was like, well, maybe I should try that product that was helping this other woman that I knew who was a diabetic and had gotten off all of her medications. But I was like, well, I'm not a diabetic. So, I didn't think it was for me at the time. So I was on the Google machine and I was looking around, and I just put in happy. I remembered it had something to do with happy. And it was in Facebook, I think, and Melissa's banner came up. And I said, hey, is this happy thing? And I just started communicating with her. And we've never let go of each other since. I just slowly evolved. I started taking the products. I actually joined up with the $1,000 pack. Melissa was like, really? It's your basically just invest in yourself. And I was like, you know what? Darn right, I do need to invest in myself. Then I lost the job and I thought, well, this is my last $1,000 to my name. And I invested it. I'll be honest. I just leapt without the net. And the net came in real quick.
Wow. So you know what? First of all, I want to congratulate you for investing in yourself and then also taking a chance. And when we shared that, was your last $1,000, many people would try to hold on to that $1,000 and say, well, this is all I have. But when you've taken the chance and you've invested into yourself, and I know with Melissa working with you, I know you made that $1,000 back. Did you tell them, did you make the $1,000 back quickly?
Yes, I've already done that and then some, because not only am I happy, and like my happiness and my health has improved, and that's priceless, right? Now my family's is, and now it's spreading out to my friends, and then also all these people that I have met through this business. And I had worked for a company that was owned in HR with Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett says those are the times you make really hard decisions where most people hoard their money. That's the time to take the risk. And his words, I met him and he told me that quote, and his words stuck out to me. And I thought, I'm going in. But that being said, I have done the work, right? Melissa has this amazing coaching thing, and she told it all to me. And I had to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to start executing what I was able to absorb, which I don't know what I absorbed at the time, right? I just started. I was in a lockdown Facebook. I only had 35 friends. And I was like, Melissa, I'm not really into selling on the internet. She was like, okay, that's cute. And I sat on that for a hot second. And then I was like, what am I doing? I just invested all this money. So I finally just started branching out. And then I said, you know what, Melissa, okay, this is working, but I must be missing something of the formula. She said, you don't have any friends. You only have 35 people and you've grown to like 40. It's really not the plan here. Go out there and get some friends, sister. And so I did. I've joined groups and I've met all these people, and my whole community and world has expanded. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I will breathe, I promise. But I started joining all these groups. She said, find things that are applicable in your life that you can relate to. It's about networking and talking to people. Networking is a scary kind of word sometimes, but really it just means, she's taught me, connecting with people. I own donkeys. I don't know if you can hear them. They're asking for their supper right now. So I really just started talking about donkeys. I know it sounds so silly, but I went into all these groups and I shared, while doing what Melissa said to do on my page, about just sharing how this product has helped me, my pink drink or making the drink. And then all these donkey people started coming and being like, well, what are you drinking? What's helping you have that energy to clean out their stalls? And it's just worked.
So, wow. So, yeah, you shared that you had 35 friends. How many friends do you have now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm very close to 3,000.
Wow. No wonder. Well,
And I don't think we mentioned that I really did start this in January, but I didn't start getting friends until like March.
wow. Well, you mind, Jessica, just sharing with everyone before we go on to Maggie, if you had one recommendation for all of the individuals here that have joined us on the Zoom this evening, what would that be? You can just recommend one thing that's impacted you in your life and your business with this company. If you can pass that on to everyone that's on this evening's Zoom, what would that be?
So hard to boil it down to one. So I am taking just one quick second. I think it would be, do you remember? I mean, I did try to go to college for a hot second, and in college, they always say, go to your professor and ask them, like, do a meeting with your professor every week. I remember them telling me that. I had no idea what it meant when I was 19. Now I do at 45. Melissa, say, is the professor in this situation, and I say, okay, I've executed this. What's my next thing to execute? So I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, literally drill it down for me. If you were to give me one piece of advice today, Melissa, look at my page, look at my sales. What would be your one piece of advice to me? She does it. And then she says, for example, the friends thing, you need to go out and get friends, sister. So that's just what I did. And she was like, just focus on that. Focus on getting friends. And I executed it. Then once my list got to above 1,200, because that was her goal for me, I said, okay, I did it. What's my next goal?
Well,
So
I appreciate.
That's it. Don't stay in the shadows.
You know what? I appreciate you sharing, because what you're sharing with everyone and what you're sharing with me is, it's really how we're made. We want bite-sized pieces so we can execute. If we give them, my mentor would always say, Brian, you don't give an individual a glass of water with a water hose. You give them one glass at a time. And sometimes I believe that in our business, we can give people too much information, where we just overwhelm them with information instead of just giving them bite-sized pieces. But you did something, Jessika Dolan, and I want to congratulate you, Jessika Dolan, for doing that. What you did, you were coachable, and you did take the steps one step at a time. And that's why you've achieved success. So ladies and gentlemen, give her some love in the chats. Give Jessika Dolan some love in the chats. And Jessika, thanks for sharing, because your story is inspiring. To start with 35 friends, and now you have over 3,000. And you invested in yourself. As you said, most people hold, like, this is the time when most people, I'm an investor, so I really resonated with that, because when and Warren Buffett is one of my mentors. But I buy when there's blood on the streets. When everyone's selling, I'm buying assets. Okay. Okay. So I appreciate you sharing that. And next, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Maggie Williams-Paulish. Maggie is also from Melissa Prideaux's team, and Maggie resides in Canada.
Yep, Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. And Maggie, do you mind just sharing with everyone a little bit about yourself and your background before you partnered with Melissa here in our company at the Happy Co?
Yeah, I'm 56, and I've been working in an office probably for about 38 odd years. I got a desk job when I got out of high school. It's always been very regimented. I knew exactly what to do, when to do it. And then about 2004, about 20 years ago, my job changed. Same company, but my job changed. And it got really boring really fast. So I lost all that fervor for working, and that I need to do stuff and I want to help people, because my other job, I worked in an old age home. So I was always helping people and always doing things for people. And now I worked in this little office doing payroll, and it killed me. Like mentally, it just killed me. Over the past couple of years, you know, with all the other stuff going on and all the stress that came with that, my weight went up, my confidence went down. I had a lot of smack talk going on in my head. I was not a happy person. I didn't act happy. I didn't feel happy, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was that was making me feel that way. And it's actually at one point last year, my husband asked me, and he said, "Are you okay?" Because I would come home from work and I would cry, and I would get up in the morning and I would cry. I was just crying. I was so unhappy. And I said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like this. I think I'm going to go to the doctor and, you know, maybe get on some drugs or something to fix this, because it was bad. It was not happy time. And about 2 years ago, Melissa, I don't know how we actually met on Facebook. I think it was the hair, because at that time I had short, spiky hair, and it turns out she lived down the street from me. Still haven't met her. I still haven't met her. But she kept messaging me because I was doing this other health and fitness thing, and I wasn't happy with that either. And she said, you just got to try this. Just try it. So it took me 2 years to actually buy a pack off her to try it. And then it sat on my desk at work for a long time. And then in November, she said, we're having a sneak peek. So if you ever think your sneak peeks don't work, they work. They work. So I went into the sneak peek, and you had that fall bundle with the hot chocolate. Oh, yeah, you had me a chocolate because that was it. So I bought the bundle. And then I messaged her back and I said, I'm going in. I'm going all in. I want it all. So I also bought the 250 pack. And then I messaged her an hour later and said, can we cancel my order? I'm dying. I'm going to go nuts. Can you cancel? Like, I must have been 2 o'clock in the morning by the time I stopped messaging her trying to cancel my order. And we got all that sorted out. She said, just go to bed, go to sleep, and see how you feel in the morning. I'm okay. I woke up in the morning, I messaged her, okay, we're going to do this. Now, I have insomnia. I have sleep apnea. So I have a CPAP machine. I haven't slept for years very well. My machine and I, it's a love-hate thing. And I got to tell you, when I tried that chill that first night, I slept like a baby. The best night's sleep I've had in years. I woke up the next morning, I had a perfect score on my CPAP machine. I'm like, yeah. And that was it. And then I started taking the dose when that got there. And a week later, I think it was, I went into work on the Monday and I'm typing away, I'm doing my job, and it's Monday. I don't hate it. And then I knew right away that that's when I noticed that change, that I didn't hate myself as much. I didn't hate my job. I didn't hate Mondays. And then that's when I asked her, I said, how do I get this? Like, how do I feed this out to all the people? Tell me, show me how. And here I am. So I started mid-November. And I think it was about the 2nd of December, 3rd of December, or something like that, when I started messaging people, and guess what I'm doing? And it's like, what are you doing now? So it was hard getting over the hump to get people to trust me again, because I'd done that thing before. And yeah, it's good, because I've had people come up to me and say they can tell the difference. Like, this is the old Maggie that's coming back. And it's made that much of a huge difference in my life. So that is why I am doing this now.
Wow, your story, ladies and gentlemen, give her some love in the chats because your story is amazing, Maggie. And you said quite a few things. One is that you weren't happy, but and it goes back. There were quite a few things I was thinking of, and Melissa was persistent over 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, think about that.
Yeah.
2 years. And I'm sure she wasn't persistent because she wanted you to purchase the product so she can earn a commission. She was persistent because she cared about you and
Yeah.
she wanted to support and help you. She felt she knew she had something that could possibly help you. And look what's happened from that. You're smiling, you're happy,
I'm giddy
you're
and
building,
giggling again.
you're sleeping.
I'm
You were never
sleeping.
and you're building a phenomenal business. But
Yeah.
you said something what's most important, and Jessika said it also. It's how you feel. That trumps all. And when you agree that how we feel and how these products makes us feel that we've won if we didn't make $1 in this business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you could give everyone on the Zoom this evening, if you can just give them one, if you were speaking to a new person and you could give them some advice, share with the team and everyone that's on the Zoom this evening, what would be your one advice or something that you would give to them to share with them what about this business or what they can do and or what they should do to be able to take their business to another level?
With my background, I always liked knowing what I was doing, and I fell off that for a lot of years. So learning that again, it was really hard. It was really hard learning to schedule. Like we have a scheduling is done on Mondays in our group, in our team. Like we have a huddle on Monday mornings, and it's, you know, first, whoever's up first says schedule Mondays in our chat, in our team chat. And everybody knows you have like 4 or 5 different things that you have to do that's not negotiable to move your business forward, your income producing activities, right? You make friends, you love on people, you invite people, you just chat on people. And those are the things that you have to do. It's got to be consistent every day. You have to figure out what time of day you're going to post and stick to it. We do a branding training, Circle of 5, we call it. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but it's Circle of 5. And it's finding 5 things that you love to post about. Like for me, it's my boat, it's my family, it's my horse, it's gardening, and me, because I'm weird. So it's all things weird that I do. And I post about those 5 different things every day. So I go into my calendar, in my Google Calendar, and I have 9:30, I have to be finished my shuffle in the morning, my little things that I do in the morning. And then at 10 o'clock is my first post. And I know I put it in my calendar where I'm posting and what I'm posting. And then 3 hours later, I'm doing it again. And 3 hours later, I'm doing it again. And if I can stick to that, I got it. I got it down. It's getting into the routine. And I actually have it on my whiteboard. It's being organized and consistent to the point of routine. It's got to become habit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, give them both some love in the chats. Give them the love that they deserve. And, you know, what you're saying, what both of you have shared with everyone is so true. Being organized to the point of routine. I say, like, we brush our teeth every day, right? That's something that we do, right? We eat a meal every day. That's something that we have to do for survival. And I learned in my business, I had to do these activities each and every day to have survival in my business to be able to succeed in this industry. And so I appreciate you both for sharing your amazing stories and what you there's so many people out there like Jessica and Maggie that are looking for us to come be consistent, even if it takes a year or two. We're in this business for the long haul because it's not in our timing, it's in their timing. And I'm going to end this Zoom with something. First, I want to give, ladies and gentlemen, give both of these ladies the love that they deserve in the chat, and give them the love in the chat. And Maggie and Jessica, thanks for being with us this evening. I appreciate you both for spending your valuable time and sharing with everyone, and congratulate both of you, not only on your business success, but on your product success, because I see the products have definitely impacted your lives. Thank you very much. And I was thinking today, and I remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of apropos what they're sharing with you this evening, because my mentor shared with me when I first came into network marketing. He said, Brian, do the opposite. And I'm like, do the opposite? He said, yeah, do the opposite of what most people in this industry are doing. And I was like, wait a minute, do the opposite? And he said, Brian, most people in this industry do nothing. They never order. They don't sell a product. They don't share the business with anyone, and they don't attend the events and the trainings. Most don't sponsor anyone, and they quit within a few months. Now I was getting it. Okay. He said, just by sponsoring someone and ordering the products and being on your smart ship, your auto ship, and attending the trainings, you're already in the top 10%. Said, wait a minute, I'm doing all that. He says, you're in the top 10%. He says, now, if you want to go to the top 5%, to the top 1%, here's some additional things that you have to do. He says, because the industry is crowded, Brian, you're competing against thousands of reps. A lot of them are in your company, which we are not competing, but we want to succeed. And they're in other companies for the same prospects. Same prospects. So he says, if you want to stand out from the crowd, and I wanted to, he says, you have to take a different approach. It's all about branding and positioning yourself of how you want your prospects to perceive you. And then you have to communicate with your prospects why they should do business with you. Now, here's what he was telling me. And Melissa and I shared this because it happened on our platinum call. Melissa shared, it's what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen, you're developing your own unique selling proposition. See, you don't want to sound like a Maggie. You don't want to sound like a Jessica. You don't want to sound like a Melissa. You want to be you. And so what is your unique selling proposition? Let me give you one, for example. Everyone knows who McDonald's is. McDonald's unique proposition is what? It's known for being fast and cheap. That's why people go to McDonald's. It's fast and it's cheap, right? That's their unique proposition. You don't go into McDonald's to get great service and a great meal. You want something fast and cheap. Now, my brand has always been my brand. Some people love it, some people hate it. Let me share what my brand is. I know what mine is. I'm a no BS network marketer. Me, that's my brand. You're always going to get the truth. You might hate me. Some people love me, but I'm a no BS. You're going to get the truth. But what I do with people that are coachable, I'll work with them and I pour my time and invest my time into them. And I let them disqualify themselves. So I'll work with them. I'll invest. But how do you disqualify yourself? You don't do the activities that Maggie and Jessica are doing. They said, just tell me what I need to do and tell me where I need to go, and I'll go there. So I want to encourage everyone get plugged in. You're here this evening. Congratulations. You're plugged in. From there, set aside some time and think about what is your unique proposition, selling proposition. What is yours? How are you going? Why should I partner with you? Now, what I used when I got started, I said, because I'm working with this gentleman who's mentoring me, it's created more millionaires in this industry. That's all I did, okay? So when people came to me, they said, why should I join you? Because I'm working with one of the top mentors in the industry, and he's mentoring me, and he can mentor you alongside with me. Let's go. And you know what? That was my unique proposition. Now you have some leaders, you hear their stories. I want you to think about this when we leave this Zoom, ladies and gentlemen, in this evening. Start leveraging them. You keep hearing that word, leverage. I learned a long time ago, this business was never about me. I learned as long as I propped my upline up, and as long as I kept putting people in front of my upline, and as long as I kept edifying my upline, I was able to always succeed, because I was just the dummy that didn't know anything. And I just brought people to people who knew, and people would look at me and say, if that dummy can do it and he doesn't know anything, get out of my way, Brian. I want to work with your upline. I'm going to get rich. Okay, so you will learn that most people in this industry aren't the ones that know everything. A lot of your top distributors do know the comp plan. They can tell you in and out, but they won't share it with the new prospect, because they don't want the prospect to think that they have to know all of that. Because the prospect says, oh my goodness, I do want to make some extra income, but gee, if I have to learn all of that, this business is definitely not for me. But if you can give them bite-sized pieces and just keep them moving forward, you're going to build a phenomenal business. So I appreciate everyone for joining us this evening. Love you all. It's a pleasure to be here, to be working with you. And what I love about this business, ladies and gentlemen, you can give yourself a raise at any time. That's what I fell in love about with network marketing. You can give yourself you don't have to ask anyone for a raise. You can wake up tomorrow morning and say, I deserve a raise. And all you have to do is put the energy and put the focus and have the mindset and put the work behind it, and you will achieve everything that you've set out to, and you will be here. Again, we have so many stories of people succeeding in this company, and you're going to hear more and more from the individuals that are succeeding in this company, because it's all of you that make us who we are. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone have a good night. Appreciate you all for being here. Love you and appreciate you. God bless you all, and everyone have a good night. Good night, everyone.